Okay, so the new Sky collection is coming out. I haven't really decided on a name, but this one is for the summer of 2017, and I'm hoping to release it next week. I have been working on it for a long time, and there's 150 different ones, so there's going to be a lot of amazing skies to choose from. So I wanted to do a quick video. I haven't actually done this one, and generally I would build this into my initial editing, but I didn't. I had already edited this session, and then I kind of decided that I wanted to make it a little bit more dramatic. Some of you guys may have seen some of these already. They turned out really, really super cute. But I wanted to add a little bit of drama to some of these wider shots because I like the really up close ones, but I wasn't like crazy about this. So when you're doing an overlay, what you kind of want to do is maybe pull up your image and then go to your skies and start scrolling down and seeing which ones have about the same tone as your image, or you can obviously put a color balance layer and change the color of your sky a little bit if it needs to be more magenta or warmer or whatever. There was a bunch of these that I thought could work for this one. I think I looked at 89 and 90. Seems like there was a few others. I think even that 92 would be really good. But I think I'm going to go with 76 here. And we'll just see what it's going to look like. I'm just going to open it. I'm just going to open it in Photoshop here. And of course, I don't know which one this actually is. Oh, there's CC. Okay. So it should open up right in here for me. As you can see, this one may have a little bit more magenta in it. So what I could do is I could go ahead and change the colors right here, but I'm not going to. The other thing you need to look about in your images is there any directional light? So for this one, the sun was like right back here behind these balloons, but it was pretty much already set. So there's not going to be a whole lot of directional light. It is coming from behind her, but it also is in the other image. So for just a quick tutorial, I'm going to grab the quick selection tool. And most of you know, if you've seen any of my editing videos, I use a Wacom tablet. And so it really helps me grab what I need to grab in a very efficient way. So that is what I'm going to do this time. And you can see, I'm going to get in here and try to do a pretty good job, but for the purposes of time and all, I'm not going to worry like too much about it. I just want to give you an idea. So I'm going to go up here and go to select, modify, feather, and I always feather it maybe around 3, just my selection. And then I'm going to hit Command J, or I could have right clicked and just put my sky on a new layer. So there it is. And I'm going to go back over here to this sky, and I'm going to drag it over on top of my image. And I kind of want to keep the same place that the horizon was, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to right click or use your shortcut and hit Create Clipping Mask. So, you know, the tone's really, and you can move your sky around to see which part of it that you want to use. I really like to keep the horizon where it is. But I think that's pretty good. If I was going to do anything, what I probably would have done is maybe not feathered here, because I can see a little bit of a halo, and you want to try to avoid that. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the sky that I plugged in, and I'm going to hit and do this and create a mask there. And on my mask, I'm going to use a black brush, hardness at 0. You can bring it up as high as you want to, and I'm going to bring the opacity of the brush pretty low. And what I'm going to do is kind of blend it into my sky right here at the horizon. And that's when it becomes pretty important for you to have, you can see the sun right there a little bit, for you to have picked a sky with the same tones, because if you're blending it, the sky behind it's going to kind of give you a little bit of grace, you know. So that's all I'm going to do right there. You know, you can get in there and do it as much as you want. You can also make it a little bit lighter, especially if you did choose the correct sky. And I could probably even get a white brush and brush some of that back on, because I do think that this sky blends very well with what I already have on here. So the other thing you can do, if this shot was a longer focal length or your background was a little bit more blurred, you could also go up here, and you have sky actions that come, that will blur the background for you, but you can just go up here and do just a really light blur if you wanted to. So, you know, you can go as blurry as that, or, you know, I would probably keep this one about where it was, but I'll do a 1.4 on that. So here's the other trick whenever you're doing something like this and you have a reflection. And actually, I'm going to brush some of this back around over here on this balloon because I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. The other thing you can do is I'm going to hit Command J and copy that sky layer. And then I'm going to get my move tool, which I don't even know where it is because I use my shortcut. It's right here. My shortcut is a V, so I just hit V. And I'm going to zoom way out, and I'm going to take this sky and drag it down here. See that? And I'm going to reduce that opacity to like next to nothing. That's 20% right there. And I'm going to go in here with a black brush and just make sure it's not on anything that I don't want it on. And I'm going to have that black brush at probably, you know, like a 50 or a 60, just to make sure that I'm not getting it on, you know, anything that it doesn't need to be on. And especially like right where you put it, like on the sand, it doesn't need to be on the sand. It doesn't need to be on the balloons or the horse, you know, or even right under the horse, just to make sure. And it doesn't necessarily have to be out here because you're not going to see that much of reflection out there, but you will down here. So you can kind of see it down there. And on this one though, I think I might blur it just a little bit more instead of reducing the opacity. Like maybe go up, just something like that. You can kind of see what it does as I move it along there. I might reduce the opacity on this to like maybe a 16. So it's not a big difference, but it does, you know, it does reflect the sky, and that's what it would be like in nature. And that's what you're trying to do, is make it look as real as possible. Now, I'm going to get this brush again, and where I'm not seeing any reflection, I'm going to take it off a little bit more because I don't want it to change. You know, I like the darkness that my water already was. So I might take it off of that some, just to keep, you know, some of my depth. And I could also just put a levels layer here and clip it to it and make it a little bit darker, just to keep that darkness in there. So let me show you. I'm going to group these together. So here it was before, and it's a really pretty image. I mean, I love it before too, but I do like having some interest in the sky. Now, when you're satisfied with that, you can save it however you normally do. You know, some people, you know, keep the PSD file in case they want to edit it some more, but I'm happy with this. The only thing though is that I might go back and use the same sky for the other images that are just like this. So for instance, if you've got a group of images, oh, that one's really cute too. Which one do I like better? Maybe this one? Okay, so if I've got this one, what I might consider doing is taking this group and dragging it over to this image. Obviously, you're going to have to, you know, change the mask up just a little bit, but you're starting from a good, you know, you're starting from a good place. The only thing is you're going to take that out because that wasn't it. So what you can do here is you can go, you know, you dragged everything over because it was just how you liked it before. So you can go to your original image. I'm on the background layer and grab your thing like you did, and then hit Command J, and now it's on its own layer. And then you can go here and then clip this to it. And that's my copy there. So these layers are locked for some reason. I don't want them locked. So I might have to go in here and lock all these. Sometimes when you drag it over, it kind of, I'm going to ungroup it. Oops. I'm going to ungroup the layers. So then I'm going to just hit this and clip it to it like we did before and drag it down like we did before. And obviously I didn't mask her out. but you see what I'm saying. Like you're kind of getting the same situation here, and you don't have to do, you know, as much work as you did on the first one because you kind of have it where you want it. So let's go back to this original one that we have here. And since I'm done with this, I'm going to flatten it because that's usually what I do. And I want to make this a little bit more dramatic. So I'm actually going to grab a little bit down here too, if I can get it to go without grabbing too much. Because I want to make sure that I'm, you know, getting a good representation of, you know, what the sky and everything looks like. So I am going to just mask her out, and I'm going to take this off a lot of this, so I'm not that concerned about the masking or the selection, because I'm going to brush a lot of this off anyways. So that's not a huge concern to me right now. So, but I've got it about where I want it here. I'm going to go over here to the Kansas collection, and if you don't have this, you so need it. I use this on everything. So when I initially edited this image, I did Arise and Shine, Warm Spotlight. I did Bold Beautiful Skies on the sky, the original sky that was on there, and then I did Sharpen Noise. And then I even took Twinkle, this brush on sharpening, and kind of sharpened the water a little bit. But since I added this sky, and I wanted a little bit more dramatic, I'm going to do that. And I know that looks crazy right now, so we're going to take it down like a lot. And then we're going to get a black brush at like maybe 40% and take it off a lot of the image. I don't need it to be, oops, I got to get a black brush first. I don't want it to be, you know, that over the top. So I'm just going to brush it off with some of this, like in different places, so it's not as dramatic as it looked when we first put it on there. But it just gives it a little something extra, I think. So there we go. And I almost would maybe even blur that a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. So let me go up here and hit, this was our original, and this is our edit. Okay, I was going to demonstrate the summer elements, the little bonus that's going to be coming with the new Sky collection. If you have the Summer Love collection from a couple of years ago, the elements are also in that package, but not any other ones. So this is sort of just like a bonus to put into this one, since it's a summer release and it's got all kinds of fun summer stuff like rainbows and fireworks and all that good stuff. So I was going to kind of show you how to use the elements. They're super easy, so I just thought it would be fun to show you. This is from Grayson's birthday party yesterday. So I was just going to go through and show you a quick edit with some of the actions as well. The Brilliance collection presets were a bonus that came with the Sunkiss collection. So I use this on like almost everything. This one I'll have to tweak a little bit because it was kind of dark and I don't like it. I don't like everything having to do with this one, as far as that goes. But I do really like everything else. So anyways, that's not a big deal. So we're going to open it up in Photoshop here real quick. And as you can see, that was sort of a one-click preset. I did make it a little bit brighter and tweak the shadows. But other than that, that picture could be fully edited at this point. So here we are in Photoshop, and what I would normally do is go ahead and edit everything. But if I'm going to put, well, I think I'll go ahead and do that anyways. I'm going to do the same thing as I always do. I'm going to grab my quick selection tool, and I'm going to select the sky as best I can. And this is going to be a somewhat quick edit because I don't want to bore you guys with going in here and selecting like every single little thing. So let me see if I can get that over here. I'd like to come down a little bit into the trees right here since they're so splotchy. And as most of you know, I usually feather my selection a little bit. I think I'll just do a 2 on this. And then from the Kansas collection, we're going to do Bold Beautiful Skies. So I'm going to play that and put it on there. And I might want to reduce the opacity because the sky was really pretty. And we brought a lot of it back with that preset, as you can see. So there's that. And then I pretty much always, well, pretty much 100% of the time, I run Arise and Shine on my images and Center Spotlight. On the Spotlight, what I might do is double click this and move it over here to brighten them up. And then do another one, double click that one and come over here a little bit too. So that's kind of that. And then in general, to wrap it up, if I was just going to do this image like this, I would just do sharpen noise, and I usually do it around 50%. So this is a really neat dynamic image. What I was going to show you with the summer elements is there's a fireworks one here. And I thought this would be really cool because he had sparklers on his cake. And there's a bunch of different ones you can do here. I might just do like the big gold ones. I think that would be kind of cool for this image. And I'm just going to put them back over here. And I might actually, to make it look even more realistic, what I could do is go right here and select all my balloons. On that, you see I've got the background layer, and I'm going to hit Command J and put them on their own layer and move them above the fireworks. So now it looks like the fireworks were, you know, really there and really behind the balloon, which I think makes it look a little bit more realistic. And you know, some people like to change the blending modes on these. It depends on what kind of image it is. You know, lighten is usually a good one. Sometimes screen is. It does change the color of it a little bit, but you might want that. So like on lighten, it kind of gives it a, you know, a less gold look. And then you've got normal right there. Let me do a colored one on here too. Let's see if I can grab, a, I don't think I want the blue one, but possibly we'll do the pink one right here. And we could turn it a little bit red if we wanted to, probably too. On this one, I would do like a lighten there. But anyways, it's pretty much that easy. And if you don't like, I probably won't keep that one there. What I might do is double or copy the big gold and put that one over here, and like maybe put it up in the top there, and kind of have this one like up here a little bit, or maybe even down like that. Some people do like to blur it, so you could go up here and do like a small blur if you wanted to. I wouldn't do much of a blur, but if you want it to be kind of blurred in the background, you could do that. I don't necessarily care about that. And also in the sky collection, you could kind of blur. You could use that blur action for that too. So I'm going to group those and take those out. And then I was going to show you a couple of the other ones. So if it was a little bit darker, we could completely do some fun stars over there too. I'll just drag them over there to show you. It's super easy. You might not be able to see them as well because this is not really a dark image, but it's the same kind of concept. You're just going to drag them over and they're going to be there. So you can't really see them in that one because it's not really dark enough. Let's see. The rainbows would be a kind of fun one to do on this as well. I might take, there's several different ones. There's a primary color one and a purple hued one. I'm going to do like just a regular one here. And you can grab it and move it however you want to. You know, however you want to do it. You can make, you know, you can change the way it is. And, you know, if you wanted to mask it off of them or make it a little bit less, you know, almost faded into your image, you can mask it and put a black brush here and maybe put your opacity of your brush at like 20. And you want to do a nice big brush to kind of, so you can kind of do it there and right there. So you can do all of them. Anyways, that was just a quick tutorial on the drag and drop. There's also birds that you could do in there if you wanted to do, you know, a couple of the birds, or I'm trying to look for two that are like close together so I don't have to like place a bunch of them someplace. You could drag those over here too. And again, you're going to blur those if the background of your image is blurred. Since this is a wide shot, it's not going to be blurred really. Put that over here and then make it smaller again. But anyways, so super easy, right? We could turn them all on. See? But I do like the birds. They're fun, especially for, you know, like kids. You know, if you have kids that are trying to throw bread at birds and they can't get any in there or whatever, you can add some extra ones. The rainbow is always funny or fun. It's really pretty with like girl images. So this is the before of the one that I did. Let me close is this? This is the before of the one that I did the sky on, that you'll see later. But I think that would be really pretty on something like this too. I mean, obviously, it's going to be, you know, somewhat dramatic for this kind of image or whatever. But you would do something like this. I want to keep all the colors in. And like I said, you're going to just mask it off right here and grab a brush and make sure you take it off for sure right here, and then blend it into the sky just a little bit there. And then you're going to also possibly want to duplicate it and then drag it down over the water so you can kind of see the reflection. But on something like that, as in the skies when we were talking about it, you're going to bring that way, way down. I mean, like almost like you can't see it. And again, you're going to take a brush and mask it off anything that it doesn't need to be on. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little tutorial on the bonus summer elements that are coming out with the new Summer 17 pack. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.